NASA astronaut Stephen Bowen joins us now ahead of the launch. Stephen is a veteran of 3 space flights, all to the International Space Station, most recently 9 years ago. Stephen, help our viewers understand, why is this so significant tonight?
This launch is incredibly significant for a number of reasons. You know, it's the first sort of crew in the sense that we're setting a crew for the International Space Station up on SpaceX, a commercial vehicle. So this provides us a crew of 7 on board. The first time we're launching a crew for the space station for a long duration mission from U.S. soil in 9 years. And it's actually pretty amazing when you realize how hard it really is to build something like this and to launch it. So this is the first, hopefully, of many successful launches.
Big picture, what's the point? Is it to go back to the moon? Is it to go to Mars?
Oh, no, actually, the International Space Station has been continuously manned for 20 years. And so basically a third of the population of the Earth, as long as they've been alive, we've had people living in space. And what it's been doing has been providing research and science. And we've been learning about the universe while circling the Earth. And it's really about making life better here on Earth. Now, in order to go onto the moon and onto Mars, we'll be testing a number of engineering systems and concepts on board the International Space Station that will allow us to go to the moon and onto Mars as well.
So you've been in this position before. Can you help me understand what the anxiety is like right now?
Well, it's interesting because you've accepted the risk of getting on the vehicle and launching into space. I mean, you've trained for that for years. The real question is, and really what you're questioning is, am I able to do the job they've trained and asked me to do? So most of the trepidation you have on the launch pad is really a concern with your own personal performance and really focusing on getting the work done that you need to get it done, because people have invested a great deal of time and energy and money into making sure you're ready.
So how much does that add to the pressure, the way you just sort of described it right there?
Yeah, it's you feel it. You still enjoy the launch. There's no not enjoying the actual launch experience once you get going. It's pretty amazing. But you know, in the hours leading up to it, right now, they woke up a couple hours ago. They had a good breakfast and they're getting organized, dressed, and ready to head out to the vehicle right now. So, their day is scheduled and full, and they're not going to get a whole lot of distractions between now and launch time.
So when you launched to the ISS for that first time, how much of that moment was a dream realized for you?
Oh, of course, the entire thing was. You know, as a small child, I watched the Apollo missions, and I tracked it all along. Never actually thought I'd become an astronaut. That's it's something in a way I never planned on. I just never did anything to preclude becoming an astronaut, and I applied when the opportunity presented itself, and I was extremely fortunate to be selected. It's a real roll of the dice, considering how many incredibly qualified applicants we get every single time we get a new class in.
And so given you were part of sort of the NASA crew from 9 years ago here, and you alluded to this sort of new frontier with the private-public partnership with SpaceX, with other companies trying to get into this race. So do you see that as a transition from maybe old guard to new guard, or how significant is that transition right now?
I'm not, it's a transition, but it's not old guard or new guard. It's just a new way of doing things. You know, NASA is going to continue to build, explore. We've got the Orion capsule being built, and the Space Launch System. The Artemis missions are coming up. That's probably daunting task to accomplish those. And so access to low Earth orbit, if we can provide a means by which commercial entities can have access to low Earth orbit to develop a space industry, a low Earth orbit space industry with SpaceX and hopefully Boeing in the next year providing those resources, that's a boon for the entire country. That's an economic resource that we're just now starting to tap into that will allow NASA to go further and explore more.
You could probably talk about this for hours, but quickly here,
yes.
For you, well, for you and your experiences going to the International Space Station, I mean, what were the biggest takeaways for you from the prep to the launch to being on a spacewalk? I mean, what still resonates with you these years later?
One of the things that sometimes surprises people is the realization at how little a lot of this surprises you, because your training is so good. The actions you take, the procedures you perform, you've done them enough. They just feel normal in space. It's the rest of the experience that is absolutely incredible, and I highly recommend it for anybody who gets the opportunity. It'll be worth the effort.
Sounds wonderful. NASA astronaut Stephen Bowen, we thank you for your time. We know it's a very busy night. We thank you for helping us understand the significance of tonight. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.